Hi, welcome back. So this week, numerology, smoke and mirrors, what is left is truth. So this week we have a number 7 and we have a full moon lunar eclipse that's happening on Thursdays. I mentioned this before, I'll just mention it again because eclipses are like full moon on steroids. What does that mean? Full moon on steroids just mean there's like a lot more energy that's hitting the planet. It's hitting your psyche and everyone else's psyche. What that means is that like truths that are hidden in the shadows kind of come into the light, they get revealed. And sometimes it's something that maybe we know, maybe we kind of know, and sometimes it can come out of the blue. Like last eclipse, I've shared that with you. Like I've had jobs leave, I've had relationships leave during eclipses. And the last eclipse, I just had my tooth I have my tooth taken out. I was like, okay, I guess I don't need that anymore. There it goes. So we have a 7 this week, and 7 is the number of spiritual awakening. Now, all numbers are spiritual to me. Everything is spiritual. But when we talk about spiritual awakening, I just want to kind of clarify where I come from when I talk about that. When I was younger and I was starting out on my journey, when I heard spiritual awakening, I thought it was like, oh, kind of a one and done. Like I'm going to get awakened and the angels and heaven and the music and the choir and I'm going to feel good and I'm going to be in bliss and like I'm awakened and I just get to walk around planet Earth being really loving and everything's really great. Yeah, that's not really what happened at all. So it's not that I haven't had blissful mystical experiences, and actually in fact the more awakenings that I've had over the decades doing spiritual work is that actually I'm much more grounded in myself and I'm in my heart chakra, right? And I'm connected to spirit and the unconditional love and guidance of spirit, but I'm able to live in a human body, have human experiences, and love myself and love others each day with greater and greater awareness and capacity. That being said, spiritual awakenings are essentially emotional, right? And they're generally not fun because when I had the smoke and mirrors, the illusion that you were caught in shatters. And then you see the truth, or maybe you see a glimpse of the truth. And when you see that, when you really see it, it's really hard to unsee. And just know a couple things. Like sometimes, like I said, sometimes you start to see those glimpses for a long time. And then maybe at eclipse time, it becomes really, really clear to you that the pattern is like, wait, I've been seeing this all along. Sometimes it's just at the awakening, like, wow, I didn't see this at all. There's a whole spectrum what can happen when you have your awakenings, and we're having them more and more as humans, as a collective on the planet, because the energy, there's so much energy hitting the planet and things are moving so much more quickly. And with the technological advances, people are awakening faster and faster. So in one way, that's kind of the good news because this is about awakening your consciousness. In other ways, sometimes it feels like we need some time to process, and that is your choice. And it is always your choice whether or not you choose to accept the information or the truth that's revealed to you. I'm talking about it because it could already have happened in this eclipse portal. It may happen next week. And this isn't to bring you fear. It's just to give you the weather report. For example, I have 2 friends that have been in their relationships. One not for a very long time, maybe less than a year, or actually it was a couple months. And the other one like 3 years. You know, both of them have contacted me in regards to seeing the truth with these men. One of them, the one for 3 years, already knew this. But, you know, she just didn't want to believe or accept that, you know, the narrative, the good parts about this person wasn't going to change or was going to transform. And the other one just had something revealed to her, a different side came out of this person that she hadn't seen before. It doesn't have to mean specifically with a relationship with a significant other. It can be anything. It could be working, it could be within the family, it could could be a relative, it could be a stranger even. We just don't know. But often with relationships, this is very common and it's part of growth. I was sharing with them, I'm like, well, sometimes you just don't see it. You know, you're like, we all believed in Santa Claus. I'm in America. So, you know, we believed in Santa Claus and then one day we didn't, right? I mean, as kids, we didn't really judge ourselves for believing in it. We just had to like move through the emotions and the kind of shock of that and move on. What can happen is when the truth gets revealed like that, when these awakenings come, you will go into your mind and try to figure it out. And then you try to backtrack and figure out what went wrong. And that's totally normal. And because the mind and your whole being wants to protect yourself, you're like, well, if I can figure it out, it's not going to happen to me again. And that's not true, because you're always going to keep learning and growing. It's just, that's the deeper work of 7. It's to investigate, yes, but to beat yourself up, no. Because, you know, maybe you obviously just misjudged a situation. And you can learn to correct that. And you can learn to do something different when you see a red flag. You have choices to learn and grow when you see these things in the future. And that's called wisdom. Don't beat yourself up, but do take time to process it before you act. I'm not saying that action isn't needed right away, but often when the truth is revealed, at least it was for me, like it would be so shocking. I'm like, whoa, I can't believe this is happening. And then I kind of want it to end because I didn't want to feel the discomfort. I felt betrayed. I felt all these feelings, and especially a lot of anger. I felt deceived. And so I had to work through those emotions before I could actually see really what the truth was, what was my part in it, and like, how do I want to handle it next in order for me to have the awakening. Otherwise, I can just create more what I call karma for myself. I can create more drama and karma and essentially more pain and suffering. It's an essential part of the awakening. It's the part that I think more and more of us are learning to understand and do now, which is really great than when I was younger. Take care of yourself. If you're one of these people that it's happening to, or it does happen to, and 7's the number of water, so please get in some water. Please do your practices, the breath work, yoga, meditating, tai chi, whatever it is, and exercise, like move the energy through and through your body if that's available to you. Talk to people, talk to a friend. You don't have to be alone in this, but spending time in solitude is good so you can move into your center and let that truth really emerge so that you know when and what to do to take action, right? Sometimes there isn't an action, and that's an action, but you want to kind of know from that kind of neutral, very kind of centered, grounded place. Right? And then I'm going to talk more about that next week, like how to take your power back after, because that's the next aspect of the spiritual awakening and the growth. But that'll be next week. So until then, stay strong, stay safe, stay in love. Let me know how your eclipse is going. And if you are one of those people that aren't feeling the effects of the eclipse, you're like, I'm good, like life's good, which is true. You know, you still want to stay grounded and centered inside yourself because others actually may need you. Others may be like getting really rocked. It's always a good idea. I'm always encouraging the practices, like get into your spirit, strengthen your spirit. All right. Well, thank you for participating, listening, of course, like, of course, subscribe, all those things. And we'll see you next week.